then San Diego Charger legend, LA Rams legend, and Baltimore Ravens legend. E-Dub, fan favorite, Eric Weddle joins the show.
E-Dub, what up?
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Sounds
sir.
great. Hey, AE wants to know, you found your dog, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, she don't know shit about. He won a Super Bowl. He's a Utah legend. He's just like the guy that lost the dog on the show. I go, yeah, that guy.
Hey, that's who I once was, but now just got done with track meet with my oldest and got a little defensive install meeting with the new defensive coordinator. Now watching the draft outside, I sat there sitting next to one of my coaches, and I said, this will tell you if there ever was a place to go for Shedeur, would be right now. And this will tell you a lot of what the majority of the teams, let alone the Steelers, think of him and not getting picked there. And the reality is, which we've been saying is, and most of these quarterbacks, Cam Ward would have been the 6th or 7th guy last year. So let's remind everyone that this group is not worthy of being a top 5, top 10 picks. And at this point, you can get them late in the first round or get them in the second round. And if I'm Shedeur, honestly, I'm hoping I go the second round so I get a 4-year deal instead of the 5-year with the option. So
that's a good point. And I think he goes to a better team. No?
Exactly. You don't want to go in the top 5 as a quarterback. The team sucks. Go to a later team in the teens or the 20s, and you got a roster that's legit, and you're the guy that can go put them over the edge like the Redskins quarterback, Jaden Daniels. You get a dynamic. And now he's obviously legit, but look at what he did with that team: a new coach, new energy, new direction, new vision. You got a playoff team on the cusp of the Super Bowl.
No doubt. All right, your Chargers are up 3 minutes from the pick. Knowing Harbaugh, knowing that franchise, knowing what they need right now, where do you think Jim goes?
I would expect them to get they re-signed Williams. The receiver, they have McConkey. I would think they go with that speedy receiver to help out the passing attack. I think the fortified up front, the offensive line's got one of the better units, or maybe a tight end, but the top 2 tight ends have already gone. So, man, what's really crazy, and I'm sure you guys have harped on it as the draft's been going on, the amount of O-line, D-line going off. And I think teams are realizing that if you don't handle the trenches and have some top-notch dudes there, you don't have a chance. And it's nice to see the game kind of coming back, that it revolves around the O-line and D-line.
No doubt. My gut feeling and my coaching aspect, I just called the Steelers D-line take because I thought Cam Hayward, an older guy, you saw a team in your state win the Super Bowl in Philadelphia, and they replaced Fletcher Cox, a captain, with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. You got to have D linemen. The Eagles did it right. I think Philly's following in suit. That's what I said they do. That's what they did. They took a D tackle instead of the popular vote. I think the popular vote and the coaching aspect of this thing screams to me wide receiver. E-Dub, like they got to go get a wide receiver for Herbert. Herbert's time to shit or get off the pot, is he not?
I agree. He's going to be the guy for as long as he plays there. So,
right.
When you say that, you're saying in a sense like I need to see some production in the playoffs and let's go win the Super Bowl. Yeah. And I think that's why I said the speedy receiver. I think that would be a pick that makes sense. Ortiz, the general manager from the Ravens, is top notch and knows what he's doing, and I think he's lockstep, hand in hand with Harbaugh and the vision of what they want to do and how they want to play the game. So that would make sense to me.
Yeah, they've
How would
added.
you feel? Sorry, JB.
No,
How would
good.
you feel about the Chargers drafting James Pierce? I think he's a freak edge rusher coming out of Tennessee. I thought at one point he was in, people projected him to be in the top 10. Obviously, he ran a sub 4.5 at the NFL Combine here. How would you feel about the Chargers drafting James Pierce to replace Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa? Yeah, Joey Bosa. EW Heroes?
You asking me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you had Bosa and Mac together last year, and at the end of the day, why did you not get it done in the playoffs? You didn't score enough, right? And the defensive scheme is the scheme. Jesse Mitchell's he's already a top-notch defensive coordinator in the league, so you can plug and play when you have a good system defensively, in my opinion, and that's what they have. So I think you got to start. I think you got to start putting money into the quarterback and getting him weapons, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's what they did. I think the pick is in. I think they took somebody. I'm hearing. Here's the thing, Edub. I would ask you too. Like, you made a good point. Like at this point, last year he took Joe Alt. He made these moves up front to get better. As we know, Harbaugh knows the winning formula. This is the year you go get Flash and get this quarterback some tools, because you got Mike Williams in the offseason back to LA. He brought him back. We know he's injury prone and he's on the older side, but he's a wily veteran that fits Harbaugh's scheme and as far as running the football, play action. I think they're second in the league with giveaways. I think they only trailed Buffalo. They only gave the ball away 9 times all year. So Herbert didn't throw picks. They didn't fumble the football. That's coaching, in my opinion. So now it's time to go get some explosive plays and get better on the edge at wideout, and I think that's what they do here.
Is the pick in or not? Not yet.
It is in, but I haven't seen the take. Is it golden? Let me see.
It'll be interesting to see, and I know it's been talked about, and your stand. Everyone needs to realize, like, the quarterbacks aren't getting drafted. It has nothing to do with anything other than they're just not top guys. So I don't want to hear that this other narratives and this and that. It's just, that's the bottom line. So the question is Giants or the Browns? Now the Browns making that trade, which is insane haul. Are they going to hold off and continue to build a roster because next year's QB class is top notch? Or do they try to come back in with those 2 second-round picks, come up in the late 20s and get Shador or Dart, right? Like, that's the questions that need to start happening, because the next teams aren't drafting them, right? And so is that the play that's going to happen?
Not to cut you off, they took a back, Mario Hampton.
Marion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. It's a good
pick. I like it.
J.K. Dobbins.
I like it. It's still a weapon. It's still a weapon, and it's nice to see these running backs coming back into vogue. You get a dynamic running back, it could change the complexion of your organization, as we've seen.
No doubt. Now the question is, before you get out of here, Edo, I can't thank you enough hopping on here. Give us some of your insight. The Rams. I know you probably talked to people. Any shot? Bailey's like, hey, it makes sense for Shador to go there. I laugh at that, not at Bailey, but just at the fact that McVay wants to win now. He's already tasted twice. He's got one. He's close. He's this close to beating Philly. Shador doesn't help the Rams beat Philly next year. So what do the Rams do?
Yeah, so I talked to Shaun. Obviously, I think yesterday, and he told me what their plans were. So again,
don't tell anybody. Yeah,
you're spot on in that sense. Everyone knows, like, they were the best team in the league last year, and one play away from being Super Bowl champs, right? So they have a roster to win now. It's who can they add? Who there haven't been nobody better in the last 5 years of drafting. Outside the first round, because they haven't had any first round picks, drafting studs immediate impact guys. So they're looking at they got a first round pick. They don't have a second round pick, but they have, I think, 2 fourths and a third. They're looking to load up. And that would be my gut. I would only say if they fell in love with Shedeur Jackson on a timetable that in 3 years he's the guy,
right?
Do it like a Green Bay. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I just don't see it happening the way their organization is, the structure. Stafford's going to play after this upcoming year. Like he's not done, right? And he loves.
You re-signed Jimmy G, right? He re-signed.
Like he loves the situation he's in, right? Like you got a great organization, a head coach, the system, you're balling. Like you still got as many years as you want to keep this thing going at the right number, which they already know, like that's the way they're going to move forward. So I think they try to get a stud wherever that's at. I know they got, I think they got areas of need in the secondary. Always, you can't have enough corners. Inside linebacker, I know they're not going to draft because they just plug and play those guys. And then obviously the edge rushers, they got those guys. I mean, this team's ready to win. So I think you find the player that puts you over the hump and go get them.
Yeah, I agree. What do you see them taking? Wide out? I could see Golden. I could see it. I know he wanted to even possibly move up from the rumors to get a big time tight end with Higbee, who's been injury prone. Are they going to go D tackle, O-line? Obviously, they were riddled at O-line last year early. I think they had more O-line shifts than any team in football with 21.
I would say the value. I don't think a receiver. They re-signed Tutu. They got Adams. They got Puka. They're fine. They have a couple young guys that they like. I think they're fine at running back. I think tight end is a need, and I think O-line, they are getting aged on the tackles. I just don't know who's available and if it's worth a first-round pick if those guys are still left. I mean, there's been a run on those guys since this third pick of the draft. So if they feel like that guy can be an immediate starter, then yes, take him. I think defensively it would be in the secondary, which I know the safety. I know the 2 safety, the top-rated safeties are still on the board who could be immediate starters out the gate. I know the Ravens love the one from Georgia who are hoping that he falls. And so, I don't think a skill guy. They don't need skill. They need to protect Stafford and get some cover guys, in my opinion.
What about backer? Is that too early of a round to take a backer?
They'll never take a first-round linebacker. That's just not their philosophy.
Yeah, no doubt.
In my opinion, I'd be shocked if they took a linebacker. Look at the guys that have played inside linebacker for them over the last 5 years. They get by with just solid, outside of Fred Warner and Bobby Wagner and these elite. The rest of them are just, I don't want to say just guys. They're not just guys, but you don't spend top dollar or top draft picks on inside linebackers if they're not going to be all pro future Hall of Famers. And those guys are rare.
No doubt. Kuechly's and Ray Lewis.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Exactly. Those guys are one every 10 years. You're going to find a guy like that. So you can plug and play linebackers. There's a lot of really good linebackers out there that you can find who are back. I mean, look at the guy from Philly that went on to be an All-Pro was a backup.
Yeah. So your gut says your gut screams secondary. Pass rushers never out, right? Can never have enough, right?
Can never have enough.
Eagles.
I think O-line. If the guys there they like, or they trade out and get more picks, I could see that as well.
No doubt. Green Bay on the board. We'll see. Where are we at pick-wise, Bailey? Pull it up.
Packers are on the board here. I don't know if the pick is in here. It should be in any second. EW, you mentioned tackle, and then you mentioned secondary. Josh Simmons, tackle from Ohio State, still on the board. Many have us. Josh is their top tackle in the draft here. I know the Rams just extended their, I believe their left tackle, Jackson, gave him an extension in the offseason. Any shot to go Josh Simmons here? You mentioned edge rusher. They got Mike Green left on board a couple other edge rushers as well here. A couple good players left here for the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, you got Havenstein, who's a good buddy. He's a freaking warrior.
Yep.
But he's getting up there. He's double-digit years now, and you just wonder how many, if this is it, like those guys are big in their. I don't envy them. So you have to balance that out. And can that tackle play inside for this year and then take over next year? If that's the case, I won't draft him if he's not going to start, though. So if they don't have a plan to start him at guard and then get through this year and now he takes over a tackle, great, I'd do it. If not, I'm not wasting a first, second, third round pick ever on a not immediate starter. So Definitely. You have to have that in the back of your mind because it's a wasted pick. Well, I'm not drafting for depth in those 3 rounds. Those guys are impact players.
I think Golden went to Green Bay. I think Golden, that's a good get for another wideout.
Yeah, another
great player.
Another speedy wideout.
Green Bay's got to have the most loaded young wideout crew in the NFL, no?
How ironic that when A-Rod leaves, they draft 4 first-round receivers in the last 4 years.
Hey, that shit is crazy because that's remember all the conspiracy theory? It's not that. It's just need, blah, blah, blah. And everybody was like, you never drafted me a wideout ever. Like
crazy.
Now you got 4 fucking first-round wideouts since he's left.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, Eda, before you leave here real quick, we're at 23. So where we at? Who's next?
Minnesota.
Another division rival. Interesting. Interesting on that one. Edub, real quick. So 32 teams pick in the first round. Some teams may pick twice. It depends on the year. There's never 32 first round draftable players, though, right? Like you wouldn't put a first round grade on 32 cats, right?
Never. Oh, no doubt.
Never.
No, I don't believe so. No.
So
no, yeah. I think you make your board. And it varies from team to team and organization, but legit, you probably have first-round grades on 18 to 22 guys, and then you feel that the rest are second to third, and then you get value, right? Like some value this guy is a first round and some don't, and then he drops to you at 28, and you're like, shoot, I just got the 18th ranked guy on my board, right? Like, so, no, I don't think, and I think in some cases, like this was a heavy O-line, D-line, obvious, but the quarterbacks weren't highly rated, the receivers, the safety, corners-ish. I mean, usually in every draft, there's 5 to 7 corners that go in the top 20, and then the edge rushers, but it's very telling when that's not the case in a draft because the corners and the tackles and the quarterbacks are usually the top 3 positions that go in most drafts.
Yeah, no doubt. Matthew Golden did go to Green Bay, so Minnesota's on the clock. Division rival, interesting. Yeah, E-Dub, interesting. Hey, man, I can't thank you enough, brother. Be safe out there.
Of course, I'm coming out Saturday, so look forward to hanging with you. Yep. It's been some time, and it's been a minute, so it's always good to hang.
Don't take my money on the poker table. All right, I'll see you Saturday.
You got it. Good to see you, boys.
Appreciate you, Dub.